One thing that's constantly overlooked on Etsy is the importance of branding. I often see new stores use tons of different fonts, tons of different colors, and they don't match everything on their store to be one consistent brand. And what this can do is cause mistrust in your store. People are used to brands, and by going to your store and seeing a myriad of different colors and mismatched branding, they might not trust you as much as they would trust another store. So in today's video, we're gonna go over what different branding elements do you need and how to create a consistent brand in minutes for your Etsy store. I used to do this mostly in Canva, but unfortunately within each of their files, you can only have one page size. And with branding, you're going to have tons of different sizes that you need for different elements of your store. So now I'm finding the best way to do this is using Kittl. So coming into Kittl, I'm gonna start first by searching for banners, and this is gonna be the banner for our Etsy store. This is going to be a bigger file than say our logo and some of our other photos. So we're gonna use the banner as a basis, and then we can start pulling elements from there to create a consistent branding across our store. So let's type in banner and see what that gives us. So scrolling down, we're gonna see a bunch of different banners, and these look very similar to ones that you'd see on Facebook or especially for Etsy banners. So you can go through here. You don't really have to worry so much about the sizing because we are going to change up sizing, but we're gonna find one that we like. And one that's really calling to me is this one right here. So let's click into this, and you don't have to use this one. There are thousands in here that you can use and change up to be your own, but you're just gonna pick one whose vibe you like that matches your store. And we are going to click in and start a new file. So we've opened up our file here, and I've brought in the different sizings of different elements that you're gonna need for your Etsy store, like your banner, your logo, some listing images. If you need any additional sizes, say you're running Facebook ads and you wanna create one in this vibe, say you want to create a small banner or a carousel banner instead, you can just look up the sizings for those, and Etsy has those listed as well. But we're doing our big banner first, so that's 3360 by 840. So I'm going to click on the title of my artboard, and your artboard is pretty much every single file you have in here. They can be different sizes. I'm going to show you how to open up some new artboards, but first we're starting with this one. Once you click on it, you're going to get your artboard size, and we're going to change it to match this 3360. And then I'm going to change the height to be 840, and I'm going to hit enter. And now you're gonna see that obviously our file is much bigger. So what I need to do is I need to select everything. So I'm just gonna drag out my cursor here to make sure every element's selected. I'm gonna grab the corner, and I'm just going to make this larger and just move it around a little bit so it fits my new sizing here. And that looks good. Then you're gonna change up the wording. You're going to add in your logo or something about you. Let people know what you sell, and make sure that this matches the vibe that you're going for. If you're going for humor, make sure you're reflecting humor in your banner. If you're going for something that's aesthetic home decor, make sure you're finding a banner that gives off that type of feel. You want to match the brand vibe of your banner with the products that you're gonna be selling. And then I always like to include mock-ups of my favorite or best sellers in my banner as well. So with these two photos, because I don't actually have a store for candles, I don't have mock-ups right now, but I would go replace these two, maybe add more of your, again, most aesthetic mock-ups that again match the vibe of what you're gonna be selling and as your store as a whole. Now, once you're happy with this, now we need to go on to making our logo. And this is why I like to do this again in Kittl and not Canva, because you can't do these in the same file in Canva. But on Kittl you can, because they work with artboards. So to start a new artboard, you can either click this little square button up here, or you can just hit A on your keyboard, and you're gonna see this little crosshair, don't know what it's called, thing open, and you're just gonna drag it out. Doesn't matter about the sizing, because now at the side here, you're gonna get the box pop up that lets you set the custom size. So again, looking at our sizes here, the icon is 500 by 500 on Etsy. So I'm going to create a new artboard that's 500 by 500, and then you can rename these by double clicking here. I'm gonna change this to shop logo. And I like to keep this below here because that's kind of where it appears on Etsy. So I'm getting the visual of the banner compared to the logo. A big issue I see a lot of times is people have a banner and a completely mismatched logo. Their logo looks nothing like their banner, or they use a different logo in their banner and then use a different logo for their actual shop logo. You need to actually make this more simpler than you thought. You don't need two different logos. In fact, they should match as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the same colors. So grabbing the background color, you're going to see at the bottom here, you have document colors. So it's going to pick up this green that I already have in the other artboard. I'm going to select green, and then I'm probably just going to copy over the same logo that I used in my banner as my logo as well. I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller so it fits well. And I would probably make it something like that. I might even just get rid of this and just make this literal simple text as my logo because it matches and again gives off this consistent brand feel. And now moving on to our listing photos. So these are on Etsy, 2000 by 2000. They are bigger than the banner because when you actually open a listing, the listing photo is very, very big. We're not going to be using these as our main photos, but we're going to be using these as information cards to give off, say, extra information about our listing that someone might need to know. And a lot of the times you can buy these, but it also can help your store so much if you brought through your consistent branding into your listings as well. So for me, I like to put usually a thank you card, letting people know that if they have any questions to send me a message, that I really prioritize customer service so that they can send me a message if they have any issues with their order, that I offer customized orders, anything that someone might have a question about, just letting them know that I am there to answer and to help out. And again, just give them the feeling and knowledge that I am going to prioritize customer service with them, so they're going to be happy with their order. And then usually as well, people have things like size guides, color guides, any other information cards that people need to know to order. So in Kittl itself, if you want to copy a artboard, you don't have to rebuild it from scratch, even though it's really quick to build. One thing you can do is hold Option on your keyboard while you grab the title of an artboard, and then you just drag it over, and that's going to duplicate that for you. So now just to add some differentiation, what I've done is I've brought in some images and some extra elements that were in my banner. So I brought over this image. Again, this should actually be a mock-up of your photo, of your candle, if we actually had a candle here. And now I'm going to type out the sizing, which someone might need to know if they're ordering this, or say information about the different aromas that you have. And if you're wondering where to get this information, it's all on Printify when you actually select a product. So on Printify, what I'll do a lot of time is I'll go through some of this information, and if I think it's something someone would want to know about this product to be able to make the order, I'll put this information in. You can even find out more by going to product details. And then if you scroll down, they have a size guide as well that you can just rebuild. So now we know the width, length, and sleeve length of this shirt. And for candles, we have things like key features, which are something someone would probably want to know if they're going to be ordering a candle. Things like, is it eco-friendly and non-toxic? If they have pets, are they going to want it in the house? That you can give them some information about care instructions, making sure someone doesn't burn down their house. For best results, burn the candle for 3 to 4 hours. If you scroll down, you're also going to have the size guide, so someone can actually measure this out. And back up here is some really good information on candles as well. Things like 100% natural soy wax blend, average burn time, 100% cotton wick, the size, clear glass vessel. So that way, again, your customer has no questions about what they're going to be getting when they order, which is going to help them trust you and want to order from you. So now, using all that information that I got from Printify, I've plugged it into my about card so people know all the dimensions, all the information again about this product that they'll know, and it matches all of my branding from the rest of my store. And then another thing I love about keeping these all in one file is if you need to make any changes, you can make it to every file at once. So I've selected everything in here, and it's going to show me group colors. So say I don't like this green anymore. I want to switch the green, and maybe I want to change it to more of a blue. I can group change these all at once. Same with the text, I can change that all together, everything that matches white. If I didn't want to change all of that at once, I can hold Shift and select multiple items across different artboards and then change the colors all together, so it makes making any changes extremely quick. And then when I need to save these, I don't always have to save them all at once. I can go to download, and I can go to artboards, and I can turn them off and just download the ones that I need at the time. So maybe every single time you create a new listing, you might need to download these two. So you can come in and just select listings, or if you just need your banner, or if you just need your shop logo, or if you want to download them all at once. Here's another quick apparel one that I whipped up using Kittl. But again, these don't have to be limited to your Etsy things. They can be all of the assets that you need for your store branding, because this brand shouldn't just be on Etsy if you also exist on social media. Your brand should carry through and show up in your Instagram logos, in your Facebook banners, anywhere that your brand is present. You should have this similar branding so people know and get familiar with you. So if you don't have consistent branding, I highly recommend you do take some time to implement that in your store to give yourself a level of familiarity, authority, and get people to trust you a little bit more as well. If this video helped you at all, please leave a like and subscribe. And as always, I will see you next week. Bye guys.